Welcome, everyone. Let's get started. And I'm so glad you're here. Happy holidays, everyone. Hope you had a absolutely wonderful, wonderful holiday season. And we are all about starting this new year off right. And so let's get started with how to do that and why we're here to learn about how we're going to do that. And so we're talking about TLS tonight, which means or stands for Transitions Lifestyle System, which is a guide to finding your healthiest weight. Now, personally, I can tell you that I have been underweight and I have been overweight. And neither have felt good in my body. But finding my healthy weight and maintaining it now for over 15 years has been a true blessing. And that's what we're really passionate about helping people do, is find that awesome healthy weight where you can feel like $1,000,000. So if you don't know me, you're new to our arena and our community that is quite international, welcome. And my name is Melanie Nelson. I am the director of TLS Sales, unfranchised owner and director. And I've been in the health industry since 2000. I was working with professional athletes. I've been working with people who were looking to really turn their health around with diet and supplementation and exercise, and really go at it from a more holistic approach. And so I'm so happy to be here, and TLS just fits right into that mission that I've had for over 20, well, close to 20 years now. And so I just want to mention that what we're covering is weight management and what you can expect, and that what we talk about has not been evaluated by the FDA. We're not intending to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent disease. And if you are logging in internationally, please understand that not everything we're going to be speaking about is going to be available in your country, but may be available on our shop.com, global.shop.com. So definitely be looking there. We have a lot of success stories in TLS because we've been around for a very long time, nearly 20 years. And there's so much research behind our program. And because of that, we have a lot of success stories. So I'm going to share with you just a couple here that were recent. We have Scott here, who was looking to be able to play on the floor with his kids and, wrestle around and just be an involved dad, and take a look at what he accomplished with our TLS program. And Joy, oh my gosh, I think my favorite part of Joy's story is, look at this, 34 pounds and 36 inches, more inches, when that's a very important factor to the success of the TLS program, is really more about reshaping the body through loss of fat and inches. And she, oh my gosh, did amazing things, changed her whole family, and was able to go back to work. And Zach, who was a collegiate wrestler, wanted to get back to his fighting form. He got married, he had a little boy, and he considered himself getting into that phase of having the dad bod. And now take a look at him back in fighting form. I don't even know where there was 37 pounds to lose, but he did such an amazing job. Megan was getting ready for her wedding, and her fiance, Justin, did this together. He actually lost over 100 pounds. They completely changed their life getting ready. I mean, it's always so important to have a goal in mind. And we're going to talk about your goals here shortly. So stay with me here, because this is all about a new year, a new you. So it's time to mark the calendar. It's time to make the commitment and the decision. And let's do this together. Let's make 2021 our best year ever together. And we are launching a campaign called 28 Days of Weight Loss. And it's for you if you're looking for a solution to dieting, if you want to look better and feel better, if you want to eat real food, yes, if you are ready for a lifestyle you can maintain, if you want a simple approach with support, menu plans, recipes, education, and guess what? They are free. If prevention and longevity is important to you, Yes, please. If you want to accelerate your results, if you want to be a part of a community with others, all reaching for similar goals, all encouraging each other, if you want to have fun while making changes, we are all about fun here. If you want to lose some unwanted pounds, or you're looking to reach your ideal weight, or maybe increase your lean muscle mass, maybe get shredded or ripped, right? If you want better performance, endurance, and recovery, for a busy lifestyle, for young kids, or if you're an athlete, or it's just something you just want for having it, right? And that is what we're all about here, is living your best life. Now we're launching January 1st. I know it's a Friday and it's January 1st, but that's okay. It doesn't matter. If you want to join us on Monday, if you want to start your program with us on Monday, or that's okay. Don't worry, but definitely log in to what we're doing, so you're educating yourself even before you begin your program. Okay. So although we are launching on the 1st, don't worry, you can start on Monday if you need to, right? So January 1st, we're going to be going live just like this at 9 p.m. and just launching everybody off on our incredible 28 days of weight loss. And then during the rest of the program, what you can come to expect is 15-minute Facebook Lives each week at 11 a.m. Eastern. Now, of course, they're going to be Facebook Lives, so they'll be available if you can't make the actual live. They'll just be living on our Facebook page. So we have our panel of experts here that I'm going to be introducing you to this evening, who are going to be doing these as well. So Mindful Mondays with Suzanne, Tuesday tune-ups with myself. And we're going to be doing a Zoom like this every Wednesday to weigh in and measure our success, which comes in all forms in TLS: inch loss, better energy, better sleep, just feeling better. And the clothes getting baggy. All of these things are great measurements of success to weigh in with us and celebrate what you accomplished that week. Thursday, Tone Up with Dennis Franks, and Fired Up Friday, where I'm going to be bringing on some actual, like real life people, not just pictures. You're going to be meeting some people to get you motivated to make it through the weekend strong. And you're going to have tips and recipes and grocery lists on Saturday, Sunday to get you ready for the following week. We're going to be talking about why do we crave things? Do anybody got cravings out there? We crave the chocolate. How many of you are chocolate cravers of chips or breads or muffins or cakes? How many of you have those? And well, why do we get them? And what do we do about them? What are some solutions, right? And we're going to be talking about the biology of weight loss, talking about hormones and digestion and age and how it all plays a part in your journey. We're going to be talking about nutrition and the science behind low glycemic impact eating, so you can maintain your healthy weight, not any more of this yo-yo dieting, right? We're going to be talking about fitness, health, longevity, vitality, and why the scale alone is not an accurate picture of your progress. We need to step away from the scale and look at other numbers that are more accurate as to what's happening in the body. The truth about fat, and we definitely need that. So we're going to be talking about that. So one of the beautiful things about TLS is you get to personalize your plan. There is no one size fits all with TLS, because your body is different than my body. We're different ages, we have different challenges, we have different lifestyles, right? And so with TLS, you get to personalize your plan through our website, which if you were invited here today by a TLS coach or someone who invited you here has a TLS website, make sure you get the link to their website to take our free profile so that you can find out which of the TLS plans we're going to cover. Now, what you can expect from the rest of the night is that we're going to cover what is TLS, what are our plans. So Suzanne is going to be leading, our registered dietitian and director of training is going to be leading us through what is TLS. Dr. Deidre Mason, our head of clinical research, is going to be covering how to accelerate your results. Woohoo, right? We like accelerating results. And Dennis Franks, former NFL NFL player and vice president, is going to be covering our TLS programs and what you can expect to be eating, and what it's going to look like for you. So that's what you get to look forward to for the rest of this presentation. And we just want to let you know that there's a common pitfall out there that people tend to do. They start off way too hard, way too strong in the beginning of the year, and they quickly fall off the wagon because of those cravings and those types of things. And so we're gonna have you start with a solid plan to get you going. We're not starting off with a strict detox or eliminating everything necessarily, because TLS is not a diet, it's a lifestyle. And guess what? You can't fail at a lifestyle. And so we're going to start off with a solid personalized plan for you, and you're going to learn more about how you're going to find that out as we go. So do be sure that you are in contact with the person who invited you here tonight to learn more. And I'll be bringing up the website in a little bit to give you a brief tour of how to use it. So follow us on our Facebook page at TLS Weight Loss, because that is where all the content is being streamed. Our Facebook Lives, our Wednesday weigh-ins, all of it's happening there. And if you happen to miss something because something came up, no problem. Guess what? It's going to be there, because it's all going to be living on that page. So let's get back to you. You want to talk about you? I like talking about you. So why do you struggle with weight? And maybe it's being underweight has been the struggle. That's a thing as well. Okay. Now, how many of you do too much for everyone else? You know, you put yourself too low on the priority list. Everything and everybody else takes the cake, right? How about you don't like to or don't have time to exercise? Anybody like that? How about you don't like to cook, or maybe shouldn't? How about I'm prone to skipping meals? Ooh, blasphemous in TLS. There's many reasons we don't do that here in TLS. You will be eating a lot of food. How many of you are workaholics? You know, too consumed with your projects that you forget to eat. How about making poor food choices, right? We're choosing to go into a drive-through, or you know, eating the cheese and crackers and pickles meal. How many of you have ever done that, right? How about, oh, there we go. And we have our special guest joining us from the Bahamas. We weren't sure if that was going to happen. She's going to be doing this along with us. And if for those of you who don't know her, she is absolutely an incredible woman. She's a world-renowned entrepreneur, the founder and creator of Motives Cosmetics. She's award-winning for her philanthropy and just her huge impact in the world. So welcome, Loren. Thanks for joining us.
Hi, I finally was able to get on. I was struggling with the internet over here, but I'm on, and I'm so happy to be here. And it looks like you guys have a full house, and I'm just excited to learn and listen, and then maybe add a few things at the end. So I'll let you keep going. I don't want to interrupt. I'm here to pick it up just like everybody else.
Awesome. Well, thanks for being here, Loren.
Thanks.
And so one of the things that's really special about this is Loren has decided to, you know, not only did she launch this 28-day campaign with her skincare lines, and then also with health and healthy living that we just went through with Dr. D, she wanted to do it with TLS. And so she is going, as she said at our last webinar, she's going to be the guinea pig, and she's going to be leading the way, and it's going to be a ton of fun with all of us. So
I'm already excited. I took my shakes today, and I'm so excited. I made JR shake, and I added ice. I hope that was okay to make it crunchy. And it was so good.
I know, they are the best for sure. So we were just talking with the audience about kind of why they be struggling with weight. And I was at the eat too much too often, which is something that I personally struggled with when I was overweight. Once I started eating, I couldn't stop. How many of you on the line? You have that, or out of control cravings. That was also one of my personal issues, you know, hit 9-10 p.m. I'm in my apartment all by myself. I don't buy any of that stuff. It's not in the cupboards. What do? I leave and I go to a gas station and I get a whole bag of something and I just binge eat it in private, right? That is something that I used to struggle with. Thank goodness I found solutions, you guys. So if this is something that you're dealing with, being addicted to soda or alcohol and needing something to drink like that every day, or being stressed out. Anybody got stress? Anybody?
Oh my God, that's my problem. If I am stressed, I eat. Andrew always knows. I don't know if he's on. He always knows when I'm stressed out because I'm eating.
That's right.
Otherwise, I'm not one of those people who need to eat a lot. I don't eat a lot of food when I'm eating. There he is. But Andrew will tell you that's my big problem, right, Andrew?
It's true. It's very true, and it's something to be conscious about. You can make the tweaks, and it'll make a big difference just to
Well,
adjust a little bit here and
I
there.
also think like, getting the stress under control also will make it easier too, right? So
Very
it's
true.
And that's
both of them at once.
precisely why we're bringing all this up, because TLS understands these different obstacles, because stressed out can also lead to underweight as well as overweight. So there is, both sides of the spectrum here, and struggling with weight can mean both sides of the spectrum. And so we want to just, let everybody know that we understand these obstacles. And that's why we're not a diet, we're a lifestyle, because we're going to be helping you with these obstacles. Having tried things, I don't know how many things I tried, to lose weight, weird diets and patches and herbs and you name it. So we understand that. Now let's talk about something more positive, right? Let's talk about your goals. How much do you want to lose if you do need to lose? Be specific. Now, when you're formulating your goals, it's really important to be specific. Maybe it's that you want to have control over food instead of food controlling you. I know that was a big one for me, and it's a freeing experience to be able to say no or not want it or stop when I want to. And so we want to create that for everyone. How about have more energy, right? Not need the 3 o'clock nap, be healthier, be stronger, be leaner, increase your lean muscle mass. Why are your goals important to you? That is actually probably the more important thing here. Is it isn't really about the 5 or 15 or 50 pounds, is it? It's about what? Feeling awesome. It's about feeling sexy, or like for Zach, it was getting back to that fighting wrestler form when he felt his most confident and powerful. And for Scott, it was being able to get up and off the floor to play with his kids. That was the why behind the weight loss goal. And that, if you get really clear on that, nothing can stop you from succeeding at living the TLS lifestyle. And so that is really something we want you to explore personally with your TLS coach. And it's something we're going to be talking about again on the 1st, is so you can get really clear. So next up, you guys, I have to tell you a little bit more about TLS. We have our next guest, but I thought, Loren, if you want to talk a little bit about the why behind goals. I know you believe in that philosophy. You teach it all the time.
Yeah, well, I think it's critical. And for some reason, people have a tendency to only set goals at the beginning of the new year. So we're going to take advantage of that opportunity right now, right, Dennis and Melanie? And there's everybody. There's my whole team. So we have a tendency as humans, right, to take advantage of setting goals right at the beginning of a new year. Although I'm the opposite of that. I like to set goals all throughout the year. And I'm a big believer in writing them down, putting them in your phone, and talking about it a lot. Like, for instance, we talked about this last week, but before I stopped smoking cigarettes, I talked to Andrew every day going, well, 2 more weeks before I stop smoking, 2 more weeks before I stop smoking, 1 more week before I stop smoking. And I talked it through. Why? Because I was mentally preparing myself. I've been doing the same thing with the TLS. You know what I mean? Talking it through with JR, going, JR, let's do this. Then when you wrote me today, Melanie, and then Dennis called me and said, hey, we all want to get behind you on this, want to make this really successful. Naturally, I'm not going to do it unless it's going to be successful. I'm going to make it successful. But having the support team here is everything. And here's the thing. So you can set goals like I do, and I teach people to set goals all year long. But the thing is, you really have to make up your mind if you're going to do it. There's no excuses, right? You cannot blame anybody but yourself. I always say if something doesn't work, it's simply because you didn't work it. And it's all really about you. Like tonight, I told Dennis, I'm praying I can get on because we're out in the Bahamas. We were escaping everybody around us who had COVID. And we kept running, taking the boat further and further. And I was like, I need internet. And I was determined to get on tonight, no matter what. But when you're determined to make something happen, anything is possible. It's not just the sky's the limit. You have the stars, you have the moon, you can do anything, but you really have to talk through it. And you have to find that person that you can kind of have hold you accountable. For me, I have a whole team, right? You have a whole team right here that will hold you accountable weekly. I'm going to be your guinea pig with you. I'll be the first weigh-in on Wednesdays. I said, I don't want anybody to feel bad. If we have a bad week, we have a bad week. We're going to get through it together. We keep on going. The great thing is it's just 28 days of baby steps, and then we can start over again and do 28 more. And it's like I told Andrew, you have to help keep me accountable. I love that I got today sent recipes of things that we can put together. Today, we were doing that all day in the kitchen, knowing it was a rainy day and we couldn't do anything else. So you really have to mentally get yourself prepped for this. Why? Because you won't succeed unless you do. And Dennis, you know, you're a big believer in setting goals. You did this as a professional football player. You know, you set goals and you go for it. And, you know, when you know that you've made up your mind, if you're kind of person who's made up your mind, then you're going to make it. But if you're the kind of person who's kind of always said, I'm going to do something, but then never really commit to doing it, it's because you've never kept a commitment to yourself before. And you kind of know what to expect from yourself. Let this be different for you. Let this be different for you. Let us help make this happen with you. You're not alone. I know many of you are customers here tonight. Some of you are learning how to invite your customers to this. Here's the thing. The great thing is you're in a world right now where you cannot go out and head over to a Weight Watchers or Jenny Craig, and we're not sure we necessarily agree with that lifestyle, right? So you can head right over and we can hold you accountable right here and we can do it together. Can't make it any more easier than that, right? You can actually do this with us and succeed. And we're going to do it together. And you're going to have all the best experts. Who wouldn't want Melanie or Dr. Deidre or Suzanne or Dennis Franks telling you what to do on a weekly, on a daily, who's going to hold you accountable, who's going to push you, who's going to inspire you. I always said, and if you missed last week's call, because I know a lot of people were jumping on tonight, because if you guys remember, initially we talked about December 29th, I think it's the 29th or 30th, right? Being the big 29th. Day. I don't even know what day it is anymore. But, you know, I talked about how Dennis was the first person who inspired me to get out there and run. And he taught me, Loren, your hands have always got to be in front of your body. Ever since I learned that, never forgot it. Always use that as a technique. And we're going to be learning those things, I think on Thursdays, right, Dennis? You're going to be going some of those
Thursdays. Yeah, every Thursday this month. Mm-hmm.
And I think that's critical. I think when you can have that type of team, as I talked about last week, and if you weren't on, we live in a society where people are so focused on how we look on the outside rather than how we feel on the inside. That's really kind of sucks, right? Because you are enough. You're more than enough. And let this be the year that you can demonstrate to yourself. You don't need to prove anything to us, but demonstrate to yourself that you can achieve and accomplish the things that you have long desired, but you didn't know where to begin because you were afraid to walk into a place without the support. Well, guess what? We're a group of people right here who support you, love you, and are going to be with you right through it.
Amen.
Thanks, Loren. I love the way you set your goals. It's the vision of seeing yourself successful when you're going. And, you know, the daily support at the TLS Weight Loss Solution Facebook page, and we'll be there. And another thing, Transitions Lifestyle System, it's something that will fit in every one of your lifestyles. So I'm excited. You know,
I just think it's really about making that commitment. Like I told you tonight, I wrote you, I was like, I want to call you, but I need to make sure I can get on. No makeup, no nothing. I made sure I made it tonight because I did not want to miss out. I don't want to do this with you and not be with you. I need to do it with you all the way if we're going to do this together. I'm not going to just show up part-time. I'm going to show up full-time. And so I think it's really important that you do the same. If you want to do it with me, I'm asking you to join me. Each and every time that Dennis says and Melanie says, here we are, go live with us. Guess what? If you have to jump on your mobile, if you have to jump on your device, do it. It's for you. Don't say, oh, I don't want to let my sponsor down. I don't want to let the person who invited me to this broadcast. I don't want to let my friend who told me all about this. Don't worry about that. Don't let yourself down. For once, do something for yourself.
Beautiful.
So
All right, let's keep moving then.
Keep it going.
So Suzanne, why don't you go ahead and share your screen, and I'll just do a quick introduction of this amazing, amazing woman who I have had just the absolute pleasure of working so closely with. She's a registered dietitian, a certified diabetes educator. It is her passion to be helping people eat for a better life. And she is a TLS certified trainer. She's a national supervising coordinator with our company. She is above and beyond all of that. She is a wife and mother of two, and she just has one of the most sincere hearts, hardworking people I know. Suzanne, take it away.
Thank you. And thank you, Lawrence, for sharing. I totally agree. I think a lot of people are too hard on themselves. 2020 has been proven to be everything is unpredictable. And the only thing that we know is true, that there will be changes. And the only way that we can control is us changing it. We can control us. We cannot control an environment. And this is why it's so exciting. And I totally agree. You know what? Sometimes it's so hard to get yourself out of bed and say, I want to do this, but knowing that you're not alone on your journey is amazing. And I think that is so, a lot of people just need that push. And I want to say, for those people who are coming on here tonight, congratulations, you took that first step to a new you. And for that, I want to really talk about why a lot of people struggle. And when you talk about a lot of people struggling, you know what? People say, you know what? I fail. And I always tell people, you did not fail. Why diets don't work in long term is simply because you did not fail, but they failed you. These diets a lot of time makes you lose a lot of weight, but you're not losing fat. You're losing water, you're losing muscle, and the worst is you losing bone density. And a lot of people say, you know what, but I'm losing weight. But I often tell people, how do you know? If your clothes still don't fit the same way after you lost your 20 pounds, you could be losing a lot of everything, but not your fat. Second thing is, we know for a fact, it has been proven, calories are not created equal. A banana with almond is not the same as eating a cake. Even though you can have a small piece of cake, a calorie is not a calorie, because what does that calorie feed you? I always tell people, a dollar is not a dollar. It depends on how you use that dollar, because the value that dollar brings you is a completely different story. So we cannot compare a dollar to a dollar. And a lot of the program out there tell you what to eat, but they don't tell you how to eat. And this is why people get very fed up, because they say, you know what, I finished the diet, now I'm going to a restaurant, and now I travel, and they get stressed. They don't know what to eat because they never told how to eat. But when you are told how to eat, you can actually go to restaurants, you can travel, and you can enjoy food because you know how to do it. And a lot of the program out there actually either depletes your calories, so you eat very little calorie, or hyper focus on certain food, or eliminate certain food group. How many people, if I tell you for the rest of your life you cannot eat X, Y, and Z, what do you want? You want that food right away. Is that true? Like, I'm not a chip lover, but if someone tell me for the rest of your life, Suzanne, you're not going to have chips, Sunny, I want my chips. So this causes a lot of neurological and hormonal changes. And how about metabolic fluctuation? How many people, after they try on this fad diet or very restrictive diet, they lost the weight, but as soon as they stop, they gain back the weight, and the worst, they gain back more. And this is the yo-yo effect. And people, I wonder, for people who did a lot of yo-yo dieting, have you noticed that when you go back to do the same diet the second time, you did not lose as much weight as the first time? You know why? Because you have really, literally, for lack of better words, screwed up your metabolism, and it doesn't respond the same way the first time. So I always tell people, it's not about eating less, it's about eating smart. And boosting metabolism, we often say that we want to lose fat, not muscle. And many diet causes us to lose a lot of weight, which is not really what we want. We want to lose fat, not muscle. So a lot of people say, okay, yeah, I'm losing weight. And I always tell people, the best way to know if you're really truly losing fat and gaining muscle is how your clothes fit. I can tell you, when after I had my first baby and I lost the weight back to my pre-pregnancy weight, and I put on my jeans, did you know what happened? I couldn't fit on my jeans. And I was exactly the same weight as my pre-pregnancy weight. That tells you weight does not dictate that. Obviously, I gained fat and I lost muscle because for the 9 months I carried my baby, I did not move that much. So I was losing muscle, was gaining fat. Although I back to my pre-pregnancy weight, I was not back to my whole self. And this is why we really want to focus on maintaining those muscle mass, because muscle dictates your metabolism. So the less muscle you have, the slower your metabolism. So the more muscle you have, the higher or stronger metabolism. And we often say metabolism, right? Muscle is energy and energy is life. So TLS transition lifestyle system is for everybody. This is the most comprehensive program out there. Whether you're, I see some chat people say, I'm a mom of two. I'm a mom of two. I'm in my 40s. I understand how you feel. I'm a full-time at my prior practice. You can see how busy, and that's why I love the transition lifestyle system. There's nothing complicated. It's a teaching you go back to eating right, learning how to eat again. So this program, it doesn't matter how busy you are. It doesn't matter if you're a retirement mode. It doesn't matter if you're empty nester. It doesn't even matter if you are getting ready for your wedding. This program is for every single person. So what makes it special? Like I said before, no calorie counting. We're eating real food. Everybody loves to eat. Come on, every single culture that we have. What do we celebrate with? Food. Everybody loves food. And if we tell you the plant that doesn't involve food, we're lying. You have to eat because our body is meant to eat food. And we want to teach you how to eat nourishing food. We have multiple plants. Like Melanie said, you and I are different. So our plants should not be the same either. And the last but not least, it is totally affordable for every budget out there. So what is a TLS solution? For every problem out there, we have a solution. And for this solution, it's made up of 4 pillars. So imagine a table with 4 legs, and each of the legs are very important to balance that table to give you that foundation. We're all about a lifestyle system, all about changing your lifestyle one step at a time. So the first pillar is low glycemic impact eating. And what that is, this is a 40 years of research. I have to tell you that when I was in my university year, my 4th year, I was working with my professor. He was actually my professor teaching me. Ends up I was working with him as his assistant, and he is the one that developed the glycemic index. So this is something that's really dear to my heart. It has been proven with science. This is still the healthiest way to eat. When your blood sugar is stable, it's not just about the diabetes. People always think blood sugar is diabetes. No, when your blood sugar is stable, you are in a fat burning mode. And the most important thing, it actually helps you to even out your energy so that you don't have those energy fluctuation. And guess what? Sugar craving. People love carbs. There's a reason behind that, because of that blood sugar level that's not being very stable. Second part, body composition. We just said muscle dictates your metabolism. And what makes TLS very different is that we are emphasizing fat loss, not weight loss, fat loss, because we want you to maintain those muscle, because we want you to be a fat burning machine. Third, science-based supplementation. People said, if I'm eating less and moving more, shouldn't that be an answer? Then my question to you is, how come you're still struggling with weight? Obviously, that's not the complete picture. We need supplementation because maybe of hormonal imbalance, because we're very stressed. We are very stressed at least in the 2020. A lot of people's stress level gone from here to overdrive, right? And if you have kids, you're stressed. If you have husband, you're stressed. You need support. And if you've been going to yo-yo dieting, you have a lot of metabolic, what we call imbalances, and you need help. So these supplements are backed with science, using science-based ingredient to help support you as you are working towards your journey to the healthiest you. Last but not least is knowledge. We always said knowledge is power, because when we understand why we do what we do, we're more likely to make a permanent change. And I might add to that is knowledge is only powerful if you apply. And this is why we're doing the campaign, because we want you to apply what you learn from us. Throughout this whole 28 days, you will see the transformation in so many ways, physically, mentally, and spiritually, and emotionally. And that will take you to the next level where you feel confident, you love yourself, and 2021 will be your best year yet. And for those people wondering, the full component to ensure success, again, 4 table and a table 4 leg, if they all equally strong, you will have a solid table to help you ensure your success. And that's why we emphasize every single component plays a very, very important role. So let me help a low glycemic impact eating. This is what I taught every single day. I tell people, when you look at blood sugar, when we eat food that contains carbohydrate is either considered low, medium, or high GI food. High GI food are food that breaks down to sugar very quickly. This is your cupcake, your donut, your white bread, your white pasta. This is the thing that all of us love, right? Noodles, pasta, bun, anybody out there, right? So these food break down to sugar very fast. So what happened when food break down to sugar very fast? Our body has to store. Then the question you ask me, then how come, if I understand when my blood sugar is very fast, very high, I store them as fat. Then how come when my blood sugar is low in the 5, I still store? This is my answer to you. When you make a lot of money, what do? You save. When you don't make enough money, what do? You save. Because we're in survival mode. So when our blood sugar is so low, our body thinks you're starving them. So what do? They're not going to burn that much calorie because they're in a saving mode. So eating way too much high GI food, skipping your meal and not eating enough does not help you. What we want is even keel, or what we call even Steven. So what we want is 1, 2, 3, 6, 7. When your blood sugar is in that what we call a healthy range, you're fat burning mode. I need to add one more thing. Have you noticed that you always envy your friend who always seems to be eating quite a bit of food, but she stayed very lean? Maybe she got the secret. The secret is low glycemic impact eating. So the fact that you're eating and drinking only water and eating a few a little bit of food here and there, and you're gaining so much weight, maybe you were at the 4 and 5 and she was at the 1, 2, 3, 6, and 7. And that's why she is burning calorie, but you are saving it. So don't save, okay? The goal for next year is save. Don't save, burn. Burn, burn, burn. So people said, what kind of food am I expecting to eat? Let's take a look at food. All the foodies out there, I'm a foodie. Look, this is what you get to eat. Look at the color, the natural color. Does this look like diet food? This look like awesome food. This is what you get to eat so that your body is actually burning fat while you're nourishing your body. So I'm not sure about you. I'm looking at these food and I want to eat them all. And that's the great thing about it, because of TLS, after I had my second baby, I went back. I was able to fit back in my jeans because I finally lose the fat, gained the muscle, and went back to where I was. Thank you very much.
Wow, Suzanne, you're amazing.
Thank you. Thank you.
Amazing. Great job.
Yes, I love it. You know, the best thing about the way they put the table with the 4 legs and the things that support the whole program, it really goes back to the lifestyle. And it's so very important, because it's not that you can't lose the weight, it's keeping that off and maintaining it. And I love the burn for 2021. Let's keep the burn going.
That's so
fantastic. I love it. You know, I want to talk about what Suzanne shared, what Melanie elucidated for everyone, the importance of individuality, the importance of understanding yourself, what Loren shared with us about being honest with ourselves and the things that we're going to need to commit to, but also the power of being supported by other people, as well as the science behind low glycemic impact eating. But a lot of questions, come in when it comes to weight loss, when it comes to me and myself, and how am I going to be successful? One of the things that you mentioned, Melanie, is that we've all been there, done that, got the t-shirt, right? And we have found ourselves in a position where we are less likely to be able to kind of overcome metabolism, where we may find ourselves asking, is this program going to work for me if I've already tried something? Or you mentioned, Suzanne, wrecking your metabolism, not paying attention to your unique needs, or really just trying to focus on a quick weight loss solution, but not a sustainable weight loss solution. So if you are unfamiliar with me, my name is Dr. D, and I
actually want to say that, let me have the honor to introduce you, because Dr. D, I have to introduce you.
Oh, please do
because I have the honor of introducing you. For those of you who don't know, I learned so much from Dr. Deidre Mason. I often say to her, she's the smartest naturopath doctor that I ever met. She knows everything inside out. So let me do the honor to introduce our next speaker is Dr. Deidre Mason, Director of Nutrimetric and Clinical Education, a graduate of National University of Natural Medicine, physician and educator, licensed naturopath physician, NEI clinical director, 20 years in primary practice and lifestyle medicine consulting practice since 2014. You guys are in for a treat. So let me welcome my wonderful colleague, Dr. Deidre Mason.
Thank you, Suzanne. And I so appreciate the introduction and I want to apologize for jumping in front of your introduction. One thing that I've often said about myself is I should come with a warning, right? I get very excited, as do many of you, about the importance of health and really changing the landscape of wellness and health among all of us. And that's really why I wanted to jump in and talk about metabolism, because I'm looking and I'm answering through the chat box for everyone that has questions about their health and asking that question, is this right for me? If I have low thyroid issues, if I'm concerned about menopause and hormonal issues, is this going to work for me? What if I'm the person that doesn't exercise, is poorly conditioned, is concerned about the right type of exercise or how well I would tolerate that? And that always comes down to the big question, regardless of what's percolating in your head. Big question is, if I change my diet and I exercise more, that's going to work, right? I mean, we've really been running on that 1970 science for way too long, that the rule of weight loss is eat less and exercise more. If that equation worked, right, we wouldn't have the obesity epidemic that we have today, because that equation, my friends, does not take into consideration what Suzanne mentioned about how the body naturally tries to save when it feels like it's in a deficit. Eat less and exercise more. That equation does not take into account your gender, your activity level, your stress levels, your metabolism, whether you are undernourished and over fat, right? Now, I want you guys to hear those words softly. I didn't call you fat. I said that our bodies have fat, right? So you are not fat. Your body happens to have fat. And what we're going to do is mobilize that, amplify metabolism. We're going to identify metabolic disruptors. That's actually the rule that I want us to pay attention to, right? The rule of metabolic exchange. When you fight your metabolism, it fights back. And if you're overly stressed, if you are underslept, even if you exercise to a fantastic amount, these are all metabolic disruptors when we don't insert proper nutrients, proper amino acids or proteins, healthy fats, and when we don't pay attention to what our unique insulation factors are. So we are going to start with the base of healthy metabolism, and that will be found in the vitamins and minerals that drive your body's metabolism, that support your body's normal hormonal cascade, that allow you to achieve recovery from exercise, the stressors throughout the day, or a poor night's sleep. See, what we're going to focus on when it comes to metabolism and TLS, both on our 28 days of weight loss and the days that will follow the beginning of your lifestyle program, is that the body gets confused. Physiology gets confused. It can't help you build up while you're sending signals to break it down. And that's why TLS focuses on many of the factors that lead to inflammation, right? Because most of us do not appreciate that our daily habits, our day-to-day lives are disrupting our metabolism. So we're going to talk more about repairing metabolism. Even if you try to eat well, I have to wonder if you ask the question that so many others do, Where do I find quality calories? And how do I understand the quantity of calories? And that's why it's so great that Suzanne made mention of the fact that not all calories are created equal. So the one formula that we're absolutely getting rid of is that you have a limitation in calories and more in giving you an abundance. I always love TLS because what I get to do is tell people I'm actually not going to take anything away from you. We're going to start to add things in, right? Healthy fats, healthy amino acids and proteins, healthy vitamins and minerals that are found in vegetables and fruits. You know, I've been known to say that small steps lead to huge changes. People are very surprised that small alterations in their diet, in their sleep habits, in their stress habits, can create an enormous amount of wellness for them, including changing their metabolism. Supplementation is one of the ways that we can make those changes. Supplementation turns out to be a necessary adaptation for our bodies as we age, as we deal with excess weight, years of excess weight. So I want you to recognize, as Suzanne mentioned, right? The year of 2021 will be the year of the burn, right? I want you to recognize that that burn, that energy is created from both healthy and sufficient carbohydrates. So we're going to add more vegetables to your diet. Muscle is built from access to a diversity of amino acids. And, you know, another way of saying that is protein. So we're going to make sure that if you're going to save something, you're going to clean up or create a reservoir for healthy protein through muscle, through hormone builders. That's what amino acids and a protein-rich diet can do for you. That's the hormonal advantage to protein. It also happens to be the hormonal advantage to healthy fats. So we're going to talk about how we add each one of those things into your diet, amplify your energy pathways, amplify your metabolism, and support hormonal changes, both with gender, age, and with activity level. What's going to happen when we think about these small adaptations is over these next 28 days, your metabolism is going to change. Our bodies are highly adaptive. So what are we going to do? We're going to send the right signals, not the wrong signals. If what's true about physiology is that you can't send building signals while you're also sending breakdown signals, we're going to talk about how we marry those two things together and create a healthy metabolism for you. The base foundation for hormones, the base foundation for healthy weight loss, for energy, for concentration, a good night's sleep, is making sure that your diet and your supplements are rich with the right vitamins and minerals, and that you have access to them. Loren, that's why I liked that you talked about what you got to do today in the kitchen, because how we prepare our food matters, and how we supplement to a healthy metabolism matters. When it comes to vitamins and minerals, we want to make sure that you've got a complete array of vitamins and minerals that are not just taken um, in super physiologic amounts. Right? Many people supplement to these hyper physiologic amounts of vitamins and minerals because they heard they were good for them, for detox, for weight loss. But if they are not properly ratioed, they are not going to be an appropriate trigger for that burn that we're talking about, for healthy metabolism that we're talking about. In addition to that, if you can't gain access to vitamins and minerals, then they also will not be able to be that fuel burn or that amplification for you, right? And that's why we offer products in an isotonic form with zero fillers and binders. See, what happens magically is when you copy nature, you get fantastic results. The isotonic delivery system was built without fillers and binders to be recognized in the body as self. These nutrients that are highly concentrated and properly ratioed to one another move from the stomach into the small intestine very quickly for rapid and efficient absorption. Because they were not degraded by stomach acid, they are intact and able to be absorbed to do the job that they were meant to do. I mean, let's just think about it for a minute. You guys have seen an original copy, right? You've seen a photocopy and you've seen a faxed copy, right? That faxed copy is a poor copy. Well, that's what stomach acid does to your nutrients, both in vitamins and supplements, or when you don't have a sufficient amount of protein, vitamins, and minerals and fats in your diet. So we want to make sure that you gain access to all of the nutrients. And that's why we created a formulation with no fillers and binders, properly ratioed vitamins and minerals, along with other amplification factors like antioxidants, B vitamins, and calcium, just to name a few of the ways that we can help you repair metabolism. But you came to learn more about weight loss and how we could repair metabolism, starting not just with the basics, but with the targeted regimen. So if you are currently using TLS Solution products, you're currently using a green coffee with Garcinia Cambogia, a unique formula called Core. You've already gotten started with a trim tea or a protein. Keep doing what you're doing. But I want to talk to you today about easy first steps. And an easy first step for people that often look at the upfront costs of weight loss, the upfront costs of getting started and committing to something. They often say to themselves, there's so much to lose, right? And they're not talking about pounds or inches or centimeters around their middle. They often think that they're going to have to give up their social lives, that they're going to have to give up their favorite foods, or that they're not going to be able to cook the way they love or be able to have family gatherings, right? They think that joy is going to leave them. And so one of the ways that we know that we can help people take that first and essential step towards healthy weight loss is to take a healthy habit, or take a habit that we have and turn it into a healthy habit. And that's why an easy step for you to get started with weight loss is to utilize Trim Tea or Trim Cafe. It has a clinically evidenced ingredient called Ervingia gambanesis. It's the clinically trademarked ingredient called Well-Trim IG. This helps curb appetite. So out of the gate, you get benefit as you start to learn better dietary habits, better cooking habits, better sleep, stress, and fitness habits. You've got something that can help you with some of those cravings that both Melanie and Suzanne talked about. Ultimately, this ingredient has been shown to help liberate fat and eliminate the maturation or the growth of fat cells. So we're going to be quieting down some of the inflammation that comes from fat, some of the cell signals that leave fat that tell other fat cells to get larger, as well as help keep blood sugars within healthy ranges. You know, Trim Tea and Trim Cafe work on three principles. They first start with helping dampening an environment of inflammation. Second, they help curb that appetite and work to create a healthy satiety so that you can feel full longer and that you can make ultimately good, healthy food choices. And then it starts to work on a hormone in the body called adiponectin. No one has to remember that, but it is a healthy hormone that leaves your white adipose tissue, that leaves your fat cells, and it tells the body to prevent fat cells from maturing or growing big or duplicating. And so when we can focus on these small steps, the steps that you can do each and every day, this is that small tweak, that little adaptation that will help your body create wellness and well-being. It also happens to be perfect for the exact situation that Melanie talked about, where later at night, you're feeling like, I just want something. There are a lot of people that will disrupt their sleep and their weight loss goals by consuming late night snacks or after dinner snacks. So by using Trim Cafe or Trim Tea earlier in the day, you end up creating a sensitivity to leptin which is a satiety or a feeling full hormone in the body, but you do it in more than one area. You do it in the brain. See, what happens with leptin is that you become more sensitive to it, but it doesn't happen just like this. See, a lot of people are looking for that quick thing that's going to do it for them. What you want to know is that we're going to change a habit with the Trim tea and the Trim cafe, but over time, a short period of time, like we're looking at these 28 days, what's going to happen is your body's going to become more and more aware in the brain of desire patterns, eating for reward, and being able to quiet down those cravings. So this is a perfect solution for people that want to cut out caffeine, that want to help stimulate glucose, healthy glucose metabolism, but also deal with many of the ways the body craves um, reward. And so we're going to start with where a lot of people fail, right? If they give up because they really want something. So something easy like Trim tea and Trim cafe can help you achieve your goals as you change your habits. Now,
Okay.
I would be remiss.
I love how you say quiet down the cravings. You
I
know
just
what I
need to
mean?
quiet down some cravings,
That's
right? They can be
that's
monstrous, and so many of us are in a
easier.
tug of war.
That's easier to hear. It's a very lovely statement. It's like quiet down the cravings. Okay.
Yeah.
Love it.
One of the other ways that you can actually quiet down those cravings, but also target metabolism, especially aging metabolism, is with protein, right? We often find that people that are looking to lose weight, Suzanne mentioned it, right? That you just try to pull back all of the good foods, you just drink water and think that's going to be enough. Or maybe you go on a completely restricted diet. What we don't want you to do is restrict your metabolism, right? We're looking to amplify your metabolism. Suzanne mentioned that muscle dictates metabolism. Well, I'm here to tell you that the quality of your protein dictates the quantity of your muscle, right? So if our adage is muscle dictates metabolism, you need to know that the quality of your protein dictates the quantity of your muscles, especially with aging. And so we're going to build up, if we're going to save something, we're going to save our muscle with TLS. We're going to create a reservoir for healthy muscle gains. So with TLS is a weight loss program for you, or it is a gym program for you. You're going to build muscle. We focus on protein and those things that can amplify your body's signals for growth, for muscle growth, and to quiet down not just the cravings, but elevated blood sugar, right? Or inflammation that may lead to poor progress. These are all factors that, when you put the entire system together, the support that you mentioned, Loren, we have a winning combination. And I love what Loren said about you being worthy, because I feel the exact same way, right? In the creation of this program, that was a part of what we wanted to make sure that people understood. You are not the number on the scale. You are not your pants or your dress size. What you are is worth it. And tonight, moving forward, we want you and we want to help you commit to you, to prioritize you, to choose you. Taking the first step may be a multivitamin. It may be Trim tea or Trim cafe. It may be going all in. And I think that's what I'm most pleased about here, is that you're supported by a team that has spent so much time talking about how we can go all in to create wellness and well-being for you. You guys, I am I'm gonna like break the fourth wall here so that I can talk to all of you and see you. But this is an incredible place for us to be together, to create wellness within us, and then from there create wellness around us.
That's brilliant.
You know, I really like, Dee, the way that you attacked this whole concept of, you know, our bodies are great chemistry sets, and there are ways to help them work better. And I like the way you also talk to how protein, the amino acids, are not only for muscle, they also are in hormone stabilization and development.
Critically important to stabilize hormones, the aging body, the balance of hormones. That comes to, what is your amino acid reservoir look like? What is that amino acid savings account looks like? I'm so pleased to be a part of this, everybody. I want to take the opportunity now to introduce our next speaker, Dennis Franks, a wonderful friend, someone that I'm lucky enough to be able not just to call friend, but my workmate. We get to really develop winning formulas and solutions for each other. And you know, when I talk about someone that is all in, this is really one of the things that stands out about Dennis, because he has been all in, not just in his professional career, but in the service to other people. And that's going to be very evidenced by his enthusiasm tonight. I should share with you some of his enormous accomplishments. He is the executive vice president of Market America. He spent 5 years in the NFL and has the Super Bowl rings to prove it. He's been an unfranchised owner since 1992, and his 38 years in health and the weight loss industry really has brought some incredible resources to the TLS program. It's brought an incredible amount of insight, stories, and success and failures. And that's how all of us do better, is by learning from one another. And I just want to say thank you to Dennis for everything that you have taught me and everything that you've shared with me and everyone here tonight. So please.
Wow. That's amazing. I think JR wants to jump in.
No, Dennis is the best. He's just the best. He lives it. He does it. He is it. And he's the best unfranchised owner we got, on top of being the executive vice president.
Well, JR, you know, for those guests that are on tonight that are going to work with us through the 28 days of weight loss, it is because of great teammates. It is because of having people who believe in you. And JR Ridinger believed in me, and Loren Ridinger believed in me to give me the opportunity to express myself and to allow me to become that person that could make a difference. So together we are a team, and we want you to be with us. And this time that I spend with you right now is really important for all of us. And I say this for the simple reason is that we have to talk about lifestyles, and we have to be able to find new favorite foods in what we do. That was the one concern I had. And I'm going to tell you real quickly about my story. I was a big boned kind of guy growing up. I was that person that had that husky look. That's what they called it back when I grew up. And I love to eat. And, you know, if you look at me throughout my career, in high school, I played football at 220 pounds. In college, I went to 250. In the pros, I went to 270. And then within 2 years after leaving football, I was 295 pounds, and something had to change. And that was something that I realized, that the average lifespan of a professional athlete who played in the National Football League as an offensive lineman, their average lifespan was 53 and a half years old. And I wanted to live. I was 30 years old. I felt I was worth it. And I had a great support group around me that wanted me to be the person that I could be. And you know what? It all began with better choices. I made the decision, had the support, but it was now the disciplines of making better choices and being more active in my life. You see, I didn't think I had to be active because I was a football player, and that was my first mistake, because I'm no longer a football player. I am a regular guy trying to make it and make a difference in life. But what we have done when we start in the new year making the resolution, first we think about exercise. I'm going to exercise. Some of us will say, I'm going to eat less. I'm going to eat less. Some of us say, I'm going to eat more vegetables or I'm going to eat more fruit. Folks, that stuff doesn't work because you don't stick with it and you aren't working to your body and your lifestyle that you live. And that's why we choose the lifestyle based on the profile that you'll actually take at the TLSslim.com site and the person that invited you here today. So we're going to talk a little bit about some of the menus or programs we'd like to offer to you to gradually get you into the swing of things. Loren said it early on. Let's get you through that first 28 days. Melanie was supporting that. And then let's reload and go to the next level. But that'll be your decision based on you getting excited about, number one, you stuck to something that you chose to do. And number two, you started to see the results. And that was really important. Now, at your TLS Slim site, I'm just going to give you some ideas. You know, when we talk about the rapid results and the power foods, and we talk about the sure and steady, well, we have multiple things. And when you take your weight loss profile at the TLSslim.com site, you'll also see resources. Get this, just with our rapid results, there is a 37-page book of recipes, beautiful variety of foods. And when you're on the Sure and Steady, there is 58 pages of recipes and things you can put on your grocery list, everything that you need to be normal in this process. You saw the beautiful foods. I've got to tell you what, since I have been with the Transitions Lifestyle System nearly 20 years, I have learned more about food and experienced more flavors than I ever had in my entire life, because I never realized I didn't even taste the food because I ate it so fast. It was about volumes of food. You know, I grew up on a training table, a side of beef, a big old fish, or a chicken or two. You got to understand, I needed to reconstruct myself. And so some of you may be able to relate to that, but I just wanted you to know that this is a big part of it. So it's a program and you can have fun doing this. And I want you to know, even if you're a person that doesn't cook, shop.com has a beautiful stores like Balanced by Bistro MD. They actually have pre-made transition lifestyle program meals that you can order to your doorstep, and you can order from Rastelli's great meats. I got to tell you, grass fed. And, you know, you'll learn more about us, how you can convert spending into selling. But when you start thinking converting spending into earning, the whole point that you want to remember is we offer it all. And whether you buy a supplement or you don't buy anything, it's all about you basically becoming successful. I'm just going to tell you that your body can work far better than you think it can with a little bit of help. Now, let's just talk about the rapid results. When you go through your profile, I'm going to recommend, we have a bunch of different programs, but I'm going to recommend to start either with a rapid results or a sure and steady. And if you're not into losing any weight, you can go with continued commitment to learn how to eat healthier. All right. So this is for the motivated, dedicated, and committed to do whatever it takes to reach your weight loss goal. You can expect 2 to 3 pounds, but I got to tell you what, for me, I'm a bigger guy. 2 to 3 pounds is great, but you can see more happening. Now, of course, I know there's disclaimers and all this good stuff, but I just want you to know we're all different and we'll have different paces. But I love this rapid results. Another one that's really good is sure and steady. This is for the person that's looking for a more gradual change, learning the lifestyles, but still losing 1 to 2 pounds a week. You get more varieties, like you'll be able to add some grains. You'll be able to put some dairy in. With the rapid results, we try to minimize those kind of things. So this is really a great program to consider. And people always ask me, Dennis, you know, what are the differences? So here's a little breakdown. All right. So if you want to lose 2 to 3 pounds a week, now over 28 days, we're talking 8 to 12 pounds. Now, we're not talking just water weight here. We're talking fat loss. So it's going to look better. I want to remind you, if you were here early on, did you see the bodies of the success story? They weren't droopy skin. They were tight. They were good because of that lean muscle mass, keeping that form. You don't want to lose that shape that you have. You want to keep that. All right. If you want to do short and steady 1 to 2 pounds, that's 4 to 8 pounds that you can lose in fat loss. Now, let's talk about vegetables, 6 to 12 servings. Now, people say, Dennis, what's a serving? Well, a serving is usually 2 cups. Now, anybody have a baseball at home? This is a baseball right here. Like, I don't like to measure a lot, but with the baseball, this is about a cup. So 2 baseball full of anything, and you're in business. Now, if you don't have a baseball around the house, a medium-sized apple will do it. Now, not a big, red, delicious one, but a little medium, about the size of a baseball. It's an easy way to know 1 or 2 cups of something. So once again, 2 baseballs will give you a serving. So you want to have 6 to 12 of these a day. All right. That's 12 to 24 baseballs full of vegetables. And when you start thinking about protein, we want to talk about different sizes. Women, you want to know, you're talking more like 4 to 6 ounces. Men, you're talking 6 to 8 ounces. Now, we all have a deck of cards around the house. So what's 3 ounces? 3 ounces is a deck of cards. If you can see a deck of cards, that's 3 ounces of chicken breast, 3 ounces of beef, pork, it's fish. All right. So you want to be able to have 3 times a day, 2 decks of cards of protein and 2 snacks a day with 1 deck of cards with each snack. Now, that's pretty cool, isn't it? But then again, we love salads too. So let's talk about salad dressing. This is a golf ball. This golf ball is equivalent to 2 tablespoons. So if you know the size of a golf ball, you know how much dressing you can use. Now, I know you don't believe me, but here is an actual tablespoon. So look at this. A full tablespoon is a half a golf ball. Let me put it on the other side. You got 2 tablespoons in a golf ball. So if you don't know how much salad dressing, think about a golf ball. But then
do you have this written out somewhere for everybody?
Well, yeah, we'll get it out on the week. We'll put it out on video on Facebook. But how about a shot glass? We think shot glasses are for tequila, chilled, or for your favorite libation. But did you really know that this is 2 tablespoons also? You can take a shot glass. If you want to know what a tablespoon is, you can basically do a half a shot. So again, easy ways to measure things. We're not worried about being so precise. How about a Chinese food? Did you ever have Chinese food? How about mixing your soy sauce? This is where you want to put your teaspoon in. This will be a teaspoon to fill the bottom of a soy sauce kind of cup. Now, again, these are just fun things that you find around the house and make things work for you. And I think it's important. Andrew, how did you like that?
I loved it.
Dennis, I got to tell you, I've never thought about these different a new way of learning how to measure the appropriate amount of what you need to be healthy in this program. Dennis,
That was actually really cool. Very cool.
Hey, well, you know what? 38 years of working with people on this and myself, I've been able to keep 65 pounds off for over 2 decades. I mean, that's, you got to figure out that's a pretty good deal. Now, how about healthy fat? 2 servings. What's 1 serving? Well, it's a half of a medium-sized avocado. Basically, it's a couple tablespoons of coconut or olive oil, these kind of things. That's healthy fats. Now, notice the difference on the rapid results. We have no starches, no grains, and you can have a serving on the short and steady of starch and grains. Here's the message. If you have a lot of weight around the belly, eliminate the grains and you will see your waist shrink. I am telling you, I'm telling you, I just seen it hundreds of times with people. I just want you to know that. But I wanted to give you an idea about what the changes were on these two little programs. Now, we have more programs, but that's why you go to the TLSslim.com site, and the person that invited you here, you ask them and they'll take you there. You do your profile and basically look at all the great resources you have. So here's some standard rules. During the 28 days, we want to minimize sugar, okay? We want to use stevia or monk fruit powder, but you can always curb that craving for sugar. I'm an ice cream freak, and I tell you how I beat it. I beat it with chocolate shakes, vanilla shakes with blueberries and strawberries in them. I got this great peanut butter powder that takes out the fat that you can mix with the chocolate and make these delicious peanut butter thick shakes with some ice. Man, it's great. No alcohol, 28 days. But then again, think about this. In as small as 35 days from Thanksgiving, November 26th through December 31st, 35 days, we totally pollute ourselves. And to top it off, we stress ourselves out like crazy when you start thinking about, oh my God, the relatives are coming over. What am I going to have for dinner? What's tomorrow night? Boom, 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 boom. Well, that just all gets that crazy evil hormone cortisol worked up. And what do? You just keep the fat stuck on you. Now, get away with it. No refined grains. Now, think about this. I've fallen in love with quinoa. I mean, there's so much you can do with it. I'm not a fan of millet, and I never knew what farro was, but I'll tell you, it's basically a wheat derivative, but it doesn't have a couple things in it. But if you're going to go, wild rice is the best way to go. This is something that took me a lot of work. Right, Loren? We like our pastas. Yeah. We like.
Yeah,
I'm already getting my mind ready for this. I'm ready.
Dennis, I'm telling you, if we got pasta people on the line, they love the pasta and the noodles and the breads. Farro is one of the most filling ancient grains for those times that you want, you just want a big bowl of spaghetti. This is when you go for the farro because it is so filling and it is so nutritious. So although you may not have used it a lot, I have to tell you, it's a killer grain, you guys. And you cook it like you would cook rice.
I am going on a search my next trip to the Harris Teeter grocery store. I'm going to look for farro, and I'm going to make sure I find somebody who can direct me. I'm going to try that.
What's the name of the grocery store we go to? Home Foods. But how do you prepare the farro? You boil it? Or what?
Yeah, so you would cook it just like you would cook a rice. So you would, you do like a cup of the dry to 2 cups of water, put it on the stove, bring it to a boil, and then let it simmer on low for 30 minutes.
That's great.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
I just want to clarify a question. Just is black rice no rice? Like you can't have black rice, right?
Wild rice is good. We're just talking no white rice, no, Ben's instant. No, those are not, you can go with a wild rice. That's a whole grain, that's coming from nature. And so what we're really looking to do is eat from the garden patch, eat from the farm. And so typically if it comes in a box, a bag, or a can, it typically hasn't come from the farm. But wild rice, that's picked right out of the earth.
Gotta do it.
Yeah, it is. And it's really a matter of just finding your taste. That's why I found quinoa. I'm sticking with it. It does what it does for me, But again, Deidre, what's your favorites that are your go-tos?
So I'm a quinoa fanatic. I will, because of fitness, will definitely move my macros around. And I have to tell you that I am my happiest when I get quinoa. And I also see that it can jumpstart me, can kind of push me forward again when I'm moving around my macros for fitness. So quinoa is my golden solution.
Awesome. Awesome. Just one more slide. And we'll have a little discussion. I'll bring you back, Mel. Listen, folks, we got to drink our water. You cannot be successful and stay healthy if you're not drinking 64 to 100 ounces of water a day. It is so, so very important. And every morning when you get up, you drink 16 ounces of water and you will kickstart your metabolism right out of the gate. That's important. In fact, it'd be great to have that bottle of water next to your bedside when you wake up, you're ready to go. Also, your quality sleep is really important for not only recovery and repair, but it's a great way to give your body a break from all the things and really stay away from eating carbohydrates at night. That's really not a good thing for you. Exercise, we'll talk about it. Join me on Tone Up Thursdays. We'll find some fun things to do 3 to 6 days a week. I just want you to know, once you make that a habit, your metabolism is kicking, you're leaner than ever, and with the right lifestyle, you are going to be fabulous looking, just like you want. And eat from the power foods. Every one of our handouts that we have, like the Sure and Steady, on the back side, there are hundreds of power foods that you can use and work with on everything. And for those of you on the continued commitment, just eating healthy, the list of power foods are there for you. So all of that is on your resources at tlsslim.com. And I think that's a very, very, very important thing to remember. And as Melanie said, make sure you're looking for from the farm to the garden patch to your table. That's how I see that. So, yes.
I think one of the things just to add to, Dennis, is that, like for instance, when for me, working out has to be the first thing I do every day. So I think somebody has to really prioritize when they think they can fit the things in that they need to do. Like, it's not just about, like I talked about earlier this evening, goal setting and setting those goals and preparing for them, but that also prepares what your daily schedule is going to look like, what's going to happen each day. So for me, if I don't get my workout in the morning, then Andrew and JR know I'm not going to get it in. And because the day sweeps me by, right? And you're no different than me. You may have household emergencies and you have to take your children to soccer and you have to go different places. And so for me, if I get it done first, I feel really, really great. And it kind of powers me for the rest of the day. You have to figure out what works best for your schedule, because when you get into a program, you feel guilty, right, when you don't make it happen.
Guilt's a terrible thing.
Hey, listen,
it's actually scheduling it though. That's the real
really
key.
important. I just want to say that because I know that it took me years to get really back into being really addicted to working out. And so for me, working out won't be an issue because I love working out. I actually love it. And I feel like one thing's for sure, let me tell you what you're going to get out of this. After 28 days, you won't want to miss a workout. Because it only takes 28 days to be really committed to working out. That's why I'm really looking forward to Dennis's Thursdays, because I know that also Andrew and I can share some really cool techniques of things that we've done and things that I've noticed the best results with. But I think it's, this call tonight was so key to bringing it all together, all the key terms, all the little things you need to do, quieting the cravings. Like Dr. Deidre said, as Melanie said, doing the things that make sense to do at the time it makes sense to do them, and not, I think I love how Dennis put it together with the baseball ball. I mean, it seemed very funny, but it was actually really helpful for me. Yeah. Because, we have chefs in the house and they just like to fill up all the plates. And I hate that. It reminds me of my mother when she was alive. She always wanted to put so much food on the plate and she was offended if you didn't finish, which I loved her to death. She was the greatest mom in the world, but we overfeed our children that way. You know what I mean? We overfeed America and the world that way. And so it's not about stuffing yourself so somebody else isn't starving. It's eating till you're full and paying attention to that, and I think it's really important that we forget to pay attention to that. I give Andrew a lot of credit. He takes a lot of time to eat, and JR and I tease him sometimes, but it's really important to eat your food and chew your food slowly so you can feel when you are full. It's a key factor. And even though we tease with them sometimes,
He
but by the
chews
time
very slow.
by the time we're done eating dinner, we could be making breakfast by the time he's finished.
Yeah.
But the point is that's key. And he never overeats because of it. And it's a key factor. And I think you know what Dennis said is true. When you eat so fast that you don't even get to enjoy the taste of food is a problem that a lot of people experience. So I think that I really just know what works for me. And I think because I relate to a lot of people on a daily, on a weekly, and I'm doing this with you, I'm just telling you the things that work for me are really committing to a schedule. Something that's going to say, you know what, this has got to be my hour, folks, that I'm working out, and you guys got to respect it. Especially when everybody's at home and there's online school and there's things that are happening right now that wouldn't normally happen. Find that time in the morning that says, you know what, if it's between 7 and 8 o'clock, don't let anybody interrupt you. And then I think it's thinking about, for me, I'm really excited about this. I've kind of had to pre-think a little bit about what I'm going to eat each day and get my mind psyched for that. So I was so happy to get Dennis's box and Melanie's box, because in my mind, I was thinking about, okay, what am I going to have for breakfast, lunch, and dinner? What I know I can't have, the things, and I've had it around me. I made sure it got to me today, but the things I know that I have to eliminate. So I'm the kind of girl, like, I'm not going to have anything that's tempting around me. So that doesn't mean I got to make my family starve. It just means I'm not going to go there. So you really have to put your mind in a place. And I say this all the time about just succeeding with business or life. You have to do the same thing in order to succeed at losing weight. And so I'm mentally prepared to do this with so many of you. And I hope that you all listening will share your incredible success stories with us and what's working for you on a daily, because I think it helps us all. When I say that we do this together, it's because I really believe that this is probably one of the most exciting things we've ever done. Dennis and I were talking about it the other day. I've never received so many text messages, so many emails, so many messages, right, Melanie, on Facebook, Dr. Deidre. So many people have written saying, I am so excited to do this and I'm not alone. I'm doing this with you. And here's the thing. I honestly believe it's long overdue. I honestly believe it's the right time. I honestly believe that 2021 will be the best year ever for all of us. It's just the beginning. Things can only get better from here. And we know that, and yet we're still not out of this. So let's make the best of it while we're in it together. And just want you to really put yourself in that mind space. I know what it takes to succeed in life and business. And I'm ready to do this with you, Dennis, to succeed at this. I just beat smoking 58 days today. Wow. I'm really proud of myself. Hardest thing I've ever done. And I feel like this will be challenging too, but I know I can do it because I've already thought it through. So I want you to think it through. I want you to do whatever it takes to get there with me. And let's talk about it on Facebook. Let's go live together. Let's talk about the struggles, because the only way to overcome the struggles, like Dennis called me today and he said, hey, babe, I want to let you know that Deidre and I, Melanie, Suzanne, we want to be here for you. So if you have a struggle for a moment, you even want to have that piece of chocolate or that plate of pasta, I want you to call us. And I will, because I really feel like we have a team that's going to do this together. And there's thousands of people watching tonight. And I feel like this is going to be one of the most amazing, amazing launches we've ever done together as an organization, because it's not just about looking good on the outside. It's about feeling good and being healthy on the inside, because you are more than enough. You are not your pant size. Like Deidre said, you are not what you weigh. You are much more than that. And this is just the beginning to all those great things you can do with your life.
Wow.
Yeah,
I'm all in.
This is so exciting, you guys. I'm so pumped. We have some questions coming in about how do I get prepared? So I want to just quickly go to that, just so we can get people the information they need to get started. So I'm just going to take just a minute here and share my screen again and bring up TLSslim.com, because this is where the person who invited you is going to send you their specific link to this site. So don't just go to TLSslim.com unless you already have a customer account. Okay, if you're brand new to us, make sure you wait for that link, because you can see right here that it says site presented by Melanie Nelson. So we just want to make sure you're with the right person. Their site's going to look just like mine, just like Suzanne's, just like Dee's. And so here's the profile right on the home page. You can click start your profile and you can begin the quiz. It'll take you 5 minutes, 5 to 7 minutes, depending on how fast you read and think about the questions, but really about 5 to 7 minutes. And it's going to spit out for you which one of our programs is a fit for you. And so chances are, and the reason that Dennis covered Rapid Results and Sure and Steady is because those are the two that are most likely to be the ones that you go to. Now, the results page is going to show you what's Rapid Results and what can you eat and your power foods and all of that. It's also going to show you the top 3 supplements that maybe you should be on. Now, we suggested, right? We suggested the shakes, the trim tea and cafe. We suggested the isotonics, in which case definitely, you know, we're talking foundational, but hey, if you're already on other TLS products, if you want to be on other ones, we're just suggesting the basics for you to get started. But one of the really great things is if you go to once you know your program, simply go to this tab here, our programs, and take a look. You can, when you click on Rapid Results or Sure and Steady or whichever program you have, take a look. You can download the menu plan and the recipe booklet right from that page. So this is what Dennis showed you in person. So you can go ahead and then print it off or save it on your computer. You can download the recipe booklet for the Rapid Results. So you have all these brand new recipes. Don't print off the first page. It'll take up your whole cartridge of ink. So unless you got spares. But the other thing you want to do is clean out the junk, right? Like Loren said, you don't want cupboards full of temptations. Clean it out, give it away. Probably don't eat it all, but it's a good thing to get your house prepared as well as your mind, like we've been talking about. So first of all, take the profile. Number 2 is download your free tools. Number 3 is get your products, decide which ones you want to start with. It's your personalized approach. And you're going to want to take some before and after pictures. Or before pictures, so you can have some after pictures. You don't have to share these with anyone, but I know that everyone here will promise you that it's absolutely worth doing. I know it's never feels good. It's not the funnest thing, but what is most amazing is seeing how far you've come in such a short period of time. And the only thing that does that is putting those 2 pictures together at the end of this thing for yourself, not for anybody else, but for you to see, because we see ourselves every day. You know, we don't notice the difference that's happening. And at the end of 28 days, you putting those pictures side by side is going to give you such a sense of accomplishment. And that's what it's really all about. And so taking those photos and doing your body measurements is another thing we want you to do to get prepared. So under resources, we also have all of our program downloads and recipes here as well as fitness downloads. But if you click on measurements and body measurements, it will help you take those measurements and also, you know, calculate body fat, etc. And then we have also a video on how to take your before and after pictures, so they're the most effective, and that you're getting a good before and after photo to really show what you've accomplished. And like we mentioned, we're going to be launching right after our 28 days, right on the 29th, we're going to be doing a second run, and we're going to be running with our 30-day jumpstart kit. That's what we're going to be running with in the second round. Now, some of you I know have already purchased it and plan on doing it in this round. That's okay. This is your personalized approach, you guys. So you might be doing this somewhere in this first round, and that's okay. You can still join us within the Facebook page with TLS. You can still follow along because you're going to be learning, you're going to be growing, you're going to be accountable, you're going to be encouraged. So you're all set to go on our site with your list of things to do. So you can be ready to join us on the 1st. Maybe you're starting on the 3rd or the 4th, and that's okay too. So we just want to make sure you got all the information and we're ready to go. The Zoom schedules, if you're looking for those again, definitely take a screenshot real quick of this, because this is our Zoom schedule, which is also, you guys, on lorensworld.com. It's on her blog. It's also on JR's blog, beingjr.com. All of this is, all the details for this entire campaign are on both of their blogs. So you can take a look at that. But here is the schedule again. Many of you are asking for it. So 11 a.m. on the lives, 9 p.m. on Wednesdays, 9 p.m. on the 1st. So we'll see you there in a few days. Oh my gosh, it's in a few days. Can you believe it?
Yes. Okay. Thanks, Mel. Thanks for joining. Absolutely.
What's that?
JR, you have anything you want to say? You want
Yeah, I'm all in. I'm taking this ride.
Oh yeah. Ooh, booyah.
With everybody, and we're red hot and rolling.
I think it's great for everybody too.
Well, good habits are as addictive as bad habits.
Ooh.
And it takes 28
Good
days
one.
to form a habit, and doing it together greatly increases the probability of succeeding, and it makes it fun. So let's roll.
Let's
You know,
roll.
let's make it happen.
You got it. Thanks, everyone.
Yeah.
Good
Thank
night.
you so much. Have a very good night.
Looking forward
Happy
to
New Year.
Happy New Year.
Year.
Yeah. All
Happy
right.
New Year. Well, you already got your big goals, so let's go for more. Let's make it your best year yet.
That's
Happy
right.
New Year, everybody. We'll be thinking of you and stay safe.
All righty.